What's up guys, Riley here, and today we're going to be doing an overview of my fully built scx24 pulling truck. Alrighty, so here we have the pulling truck. If you guys don't know, I haven't had this on the channel. I have made a few shorts with it, but that's about it. Other than that, it has not been on the channel. This is completely custom, mostly 3D printed, and I can't wait to show you guys what this is. So for starters, this is in the scx24, the scx24 C10 body, as you can see, and we are sitting on the BF Goodrich MTR 1.0 tires by RC 4-wheel drive. Really great tire. I think they do really good. I have no foams in the front and some stiff foams in the rear. The stiff foams, I noticed, are really only good when you have a ton of weight on the rear. So I think the more weight on the rear you have pulling down on the sled and such, the stiffer you want to go with your rear tire, at least with these tires. I do need to go to a softer foam, maybe back to the stock foam, but I mean, it does pretty good as is. So the next thing is, you can immediately see we do have a weight box. This one's kind of butchered. I had a few problems with it that I need to work out. Some of the holes didn't line up, and this screw wouldn't go in. It ended up rounding out. And in this weight box is actually nickels. I can't remember the exact amount that I have in there or that can go in there, but it's a lot. It's full of nickels, and it is like really heavy. It's almost one of the heaviest trucks we have, even with the black C10 and the red Duramax dually. So if we open this up, we have a completely custom chassis along with battery and ESC tray. This is a pretty simple design for the chassis. It's a kind of a ladder bar system, and it seems to work really good so far. The battery and ESC tray came out really good. All of this is 3D printed. Anybody that wants to build one, let me know. I can try and send you the files. I don't know exactly how to do it, but I can definitely try. So yeah, this chassis is built to hold the hitch, which is one thing I need to go over. So right here we have a hitch. This is non-adjustable. I would like to make one that's adjustable for different heights, because once you get into competitions with scx24s, which I don't think they have yet. They may have them in some parts of the US, but if they do, it's not much. But I do have to say, I want to make one that you can adjust for different classes, because in pulling, your hitch has to be different heights for different classes. So adjusting it would be nice. The next thing is the ESC tray and the body mount are the same. It mimics the stock ESC tray. So the ESC goes on it, and you got your body posts right here. They slide into the little slot, screw in. They're adjustable. You can go up or down. I have mine all the way down, and these actually literally line up perfectly, and they are 3D printed, so they're a bit stiffer than your original body mounts. So these aren't going to bend, so you don't have to, unless you really bend them, they're not going to bend. So every time they're going to line up no problem, which is super duper nice. I fell in love with this truck just because of that. And it's just very handy. You're not having to reach under the body and wiggle the body around. It's literally just boom, there we go. And then you just use your original body clips, and it clips in really nicely. Another thing is the body flips up, which it can be really nice, because there's a lot of pulling trucks out there where the body does flip up, kind of like a funny car, and I think it's just cool to be able to mimic that. The next thing is for the front. I'll get you guys in closer. We are running dual shocks. The way we're doing that is I made basically an A-fib, like Mofo has, and I've just tightened it down a ton so that it does not flex at all or move around. And I had to make it so that it would clear the steering links. So we are running dual stock shocks in the front. I've got enough weight on them that they're not really working. That will have to change. Probably have to put some stiffer springs in it. And we are running a stock servo and stock steering links because when we are pulling, we don't really need steering. For the most part, the steering's really fast for some reason, even with a stock servo, and so that's why I kept all that stock. It doesn't really matter as much. The next thing is we'll move on to the rear. The rear, we are running no shocks. I actually have these 3D printed bars here, and I think they're about an inch long. They might be 3/4 inch long, and those are just going to keep the rear end from flexing, and that also keeps the rear end from bouncing when pulling. Sometimes you'll have wheel hop, and that can cause a loss of traction, so we want to get as much traction as we can. The next thing is we have these ladder bar links. The reason I did this is because I have stock links on it. These ladder bar links are going to be a lot stronger than your stock links because under pressure, they're not going to bend and fold after a while because it's a ladder bar. They're going to be way stronger, way more reliable compared to your stock links. The next thing is, there are a few modifications in here. We have an aluminum link mount. I just had that laying around, so I threw it on there. And we have some metal drive shafts. And we are running a Endura 50-turn brushed motor, not brushless. We are going to go brushless. Don't know when, but I do want to get brushless in here at some point in its life. We are running the Mofo RC UPWs with the puller ring because the puller ring is literally like the pulling truck ring of the world. For pulling trucks, a lot of people will use these, so that's really cool to be able to have that also. And they're running the brass, I think like 6mm hubs. So yeah, we'll get this out on the course now that I've gone over the overview, and I'll show you what this thing is really capable of. Alrighty, so here we go. We've got it out here. The new box is on. Everything went on smoothly. Got her hooked up with the weights, 526 grams. Got the track kind of prepped, not really, but there's been a lot of rain, so it's washed a ton of dirt in it, so it's really soft. I packed it down as much as I could, but we'll see how it does. Alrighty, so here we go. We're gonna try this. Y'all are actually on the trailer on the square body dually. So we'll see how this goes for round one. On your mark, get set, go. Alrighty, so for round two, I added this. Seems to be about 70-80 grams. So some decent weight added. Let's see how it does. Alrighty, so we've got the added weight in there. Let's see how she does. Ready, set, go. Way more, as you can see. I think that's about all we're gonna get. Back it up, we'll give it another try. Alright, so here we go for round two with the added weight. Let's see how she does. Ready, set, go. Looks like we got us again. We'll have to try the third time, see if we can get it through. Alrighty, so round three with the added weight. If we can't pull it, that's it. Ready, set, go. We did not make it. Got pretty close though. As you can see, we got really close. That's the end right there. Right there. Out of a technicality, we would have won because the box was right there, not the trailer. So, but yeah, did pretty good. As you can see, all that added dirt that is washed over on this side has come over here, and that's really piling up. And honestly, I really like the fact that it's piling up that way It makes it a little more realistic since the trailer's not that realistic. But so far so good. Alrighty, so the little truck didn't do too bad. I know I have a lot of modifications that I am going to do that may take some time to do before I get to it. I've got a couple things that I've been building, but it does pretty good. It's a pretty heavy truck. I would like to get the 0mm hubs for the rear to push those wheels in so that they're grabbing fresh dirt compared to the front. I would like to go brushless, maybe the Dinky RC ESC, so that I can do 4S, because that would be awesome in a pulling truck. Other than that, I mean, the tires are really good for pulling. I've really noticed that. I should have put in softer foams in these, in the rear at least, because I wasn't pulling a lot of weight and it was really soft out. So putting softer foams in it would have helped there. I think I would have been able to pull the extra weight all the way through. But yeah, the new weight box that I put on it before we went out, it is doing pretty good. It looks pretty good too. Where it mounts is definitely different from the old pulling box. That's why I had the old pulling box, because I changed it up. This is the older version that I made, and so this is not the one I meant to print, but it is what it is. I hurried up, got it on there. I've got all the nickels in there, and yeah, so it did pretty good. I did notice one of my shocks came off the ball. So since I'm running stock shocks, sometimes the steering link will actually push them enough that it'll hit them and push them and knock them off. So sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't bother me much. Other than that, it did pretty good. The motor, I can't feel the motor through the chassis, obviously, but the motor feels really good. It's not hot at all. And that's always great because of the PLA, because of the chassis 3D printed. If the chassis gets too hot, it can warp, and we don't want that. So we are running the 450 milliamp hour Genix battery. That seemed to do really good. It does really good with this pulling setup. I'm definitely going to be using two 450 milliamp hour batteries if we ever get this thing on 4S. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. It would just be a really cool setup. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you guys do want the files for this truck, let me know. I can try and get them out to you. Not too sure, because I am not too sure on how to send them over. But we'll see what we can do. If you want the files, just let me know. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.